Don't push me now, I need more room to breathe. I'm writing out my thoughts in simple lines, and it's hard to find and hard to fight, but I wanna live just a simple life. And you wanted me to be one that I don't like. Joanne, I'm leaving tonight, 'cause I'm tired of us. Yeah, I'm tired of us. Give me an hour for my mind to speak. Don't rush me now, I need more room to breathe. I'm writing down my thoughts in simple lines, and it's hard to find and hard to find, but I wanna live just a simple life. 'Cause you wanted me to be one that I don't like. Joanne, I'm leaving tonight, 'cause I'm tired of us. Yeah, I'm tired of us. And no one can stop me tonight, 'cause I'm tired of us turning love to dust. You wanna live with your lies. You wanted me to compromise. You wanna live to tell your lie, and you wanted me to be one that I don't like. Joanne, I'm leaving tonight, 'cause I'm tired of us. Yeah, I'm tired of us. And no one can stop me tonight, 'cause I'm tired of us turning love to dust. Joanne, I'm leaving tonight. Joanne, I'm leaving tonight. Joanne, I'm leaving tonight, 'cause I'm tired of us turning love to dust. Joanne, I'm leaving tonight, 'cause I'm tired of us turning love to dust. Hey, hey, hey. Hello. Are we live? Yes, we are. Check lang. Yun. Alright, everyone. Grabe. Di pa rin ako sanay sa Zoom. But yes, welcome to another Indie TV exclusive. And now, we have a legend right here for me. Legend.
Legendary.
This guy is the reason why sobrang active ng eksena natin today up to this date. And wag natin patagalin pa. Let's all welcome Mr. Alex Phatboy Lim. Para nagpapaano lang boxing lang eh. Yun.
Kumusta ka, Bri? Thank you for
Alright,
having me.
I'm good. I'm good, man.
Parang hindi ko akalain na nandito ako sa side na to kasi usually ako nag-i-interview eh.
Do you have your own show ba?
Well, before I used to be on radio.
Yeah.
Tapos I do podcast and stuff. So dami like I usually just love to talk to people. You know, trying my sort of hosting thing kung kaya, you know.
Yeah.
So
So,
far, that's
but before anything else, brother, how are you? Kamusta ka?
okay naman. It's been it's been a very different year, 2020, you know. And
Yes.
right now dito sa Cebu parang okay na, medyo nag chillax konti compared to like couple of weeks, months ago. Yeah, so
Oo.
before I actually got into the show, I was just finishing some stuff because I'm coming up with a podcast. Well, it's a vlogcast, not the vlogcast, yeah.
Oo.
So I'm partnering up with Dice of Dice and K9, and
Oo.
just had this really crazy idea of just like, you know how we have like we're already at the age where we just want to talk because we're like older, you know. sometimes we do Zoom now. Actually, this whole Zoom thing is just amazing, and this whole like, you know, when you
True.
talk to someone else, it gets to a point na parang sarap na ng kwentuhan eh, no? Yung like talagang ano na eh. So
Oo.
it's a way for us to communicate now na if you know hindi tayo nakalabas and all that. But yeah, sobrang. So I've been talking to Dice about doing. We were talking about doing something like parang a vlogcast about because we love toys and we love like collecting some stuff. So it's we're calling the show Tito Toys, and it's like all like from vintage toys and even just like stuff that we have today, but more on the vintage ones. Like
Yeah.
he collects a lot of toys din kasi. So the idea is maybe one day we're gonna get some guests kung sino yung mga nagko-collect ng toys, yung ganun, tapos just talk about it. That's totally different from the music industry kasi panay music na lang ako lahat eh.
Oo nga. Dahil lang nagkakaproblema yung natin yung OBS ko. Pag full screen ko, hindi tayo makita.
Talaga?
Oo, check ko lang. Wait lang, teka lang.
Oo nga.
I'll just
Pero siguro naman narinig tayo. Do you think
I'll
narinig
just
kaya
adjust this lang. Yeah.
Ako din eh. Nagtatry din ako mag-figure out sa mga ganito eh para magkaroon tayo ng show.
Yan.
Diba?
Sige. Tingnan natin kung mag-work na dito.
Nangyari. Actually, nakatingin ako sa watch party. Nag-watch party ako ngayon eh. So, I don't know. Maybe like may makikita bang mag-chat? Ayun, nakita tayo pero parang nasa gilid yata tayo. Ayun.
Sorry guys sa mga nanonood. I'm still adjusting with Zoom. Mas medyo sanay kasi ako sa Skype eh. And then wala nag-ooperate ngayon ng OBS ko. May nag-ooperate kasi usually yung OBS ko. But I think it's fine. I'm monitoring it on my own. Wala na naman siyang picture pag naka full screen. So I guess we have to speaker view.
Tsaka itago mo yung chat sa gilid siguro.
Oo nga eh.
Anyway, so
yeah,
yun yung ginagawa namin while you're fixing that. Like, yeah, yun yung ginagawa ko ngayon with then I got a couple of mga projects for Beat This. That's another thing that I'm doing. Parang dami kong ginagawa.
I know, that's, di ba parang weird eh, parang kung kailan pandemic at saka marami. Ako like, with me, ang dami nating ginagawa bigla. Especially pagdating sa online.
Tsaka walang excuse malate eh.
Oo, kasi nasa bahay ka lang.
babae ka lang eh. Parang, di ka pwede traffic, chong. Di ka hindi eh.
Parang, sorry Alex, black pa rin yung screen eh. Ano kaya nangyayari dito? I can't figure it out. Grabe.
You wanna, yung kanina, work na kanina, di ba?
Kaya nga
Pero,
Kaya lang. Ayan. Ay, Nick, tulungan mo ako. Help!
tayo. Tanong mo daw kay Joel. May
Hindi kaya nga
ba
eh.
sila?
Teka lang sige. Iganyan muna. In-adjust ko siya eh. In-adjust ko.
Huwag mo siya i-maximize. Ganyan mo talaga.
Oo nga.
Yan, yun na yun.
Yan na yun.
Oo.
What the hell? Bumabalik siya eh. Sige. Okay na. Okay na. Ayun. Finally. So, okay, the reason for this interview is we want to talk about what happened, like, siguro yung mga dati natin, how we started, Alex. So, sa mga nakakapanood, Alex is the man behind Sonic Boom. Pucha, kung sa yung mga yung mga kasing idara namin, alam na alam yung Sonic Boom na yan. So, can you please tell us how you started Sonic Boom, brother? Yung mabilis lang. Alam ko mahaba yan eh.
Sobra. Actually, before I tell you guys the history, kasi just wanted to tell everyone, nag-post kasi ako ngayon ng poster ng Sonic Boom, no? So if you go to my page, sa personal, sa mga friends ko on the page, you can see the poster, and it's a really old one. It's like, as in today is August 23, and like 14 years ago on the same day was the first event of Sonic Boom. You know? So, if you look at it, parang sa Sagiho yung una na event sa Sagiho. And it was a Wednesday. It was even a weekday. Hindi pa siya yung parang prime time sa Sagiho. So we were doing the Wednesday pa that time because we're very, very new, as much as I can remember. And if you look at the logo, well, for people who don't see this, I'll just post this again on some of the other, but when we had the logo, it says Cebu, Manila, and Iloilo for Sonic Boom. So I remember that time na yung connections ko for just the artists that were part of it is kasi meron akong Cebu tsaka Iloilo na mga artists na pinopromote sa Manila. So yun yung and then I mean, since I posted this just 30 minutes ago, mga OGs nagme-message.
Sino yung OG na yan?
Yan, dami na. Ayan, si Aspen.
Shoutout pala tayo.
Ayan, yun. Sila Rod Tolentino sa subscapular. You know, sila Noel, Lanto. Sila, dami rin eh. You know, sila basta mga loyalist before. So anyways, so if you look at the first lineup of the first Sonic Boom, which happened in August 23, 2006, this was
parang kailan lang
Urban
yun?
Dub. Yeah, Urban Dub, the Dorks, Switch, the Ambassadors, Hilera, Angulo, Dicta License, and Subscapular. Yun yung lineup dati, bro.
Wow.
Yun yung first lineup first official lineup ng Sonic Boom na event sa Sagiho, 2006, August 23.
I remember those days. Parang kailan lang yun, brother. Kasi yung mga banda na yun, sobrang kilala ko lahat. Ang galing.
Sobrang thunders, no? Anyway,
di naman. Sakto lang.
So, OG, in other words, old guy. hindi original gangster. So anyway, so I started it back in 2006 August talaga yung first. But before dumating tong date na to, I know I was already trying to figure it out around summer, on how to make this event happen ba. So I remember kasi before yung Sonic Boom, hindi siya before actually it became on this particular year, it was founded this year. I already had this concept mga 2 years back, like parang my idea, it was supposed to be a regional event thing back when we were still in Cebu. So the idea was supposed to come up with like an events like inter band or interchanging of like audience of different bands that are coming from the south kasi back in the days hindi masyadong hirap kami sa south to actually promote our
Oo.
stuff so the idea was because I had a label back then called Lighter Records
Yes.
and most of the artists that are in it were from the Visayas, Mindanao. So I
Oo.
had that time I had Dyson K9, Urban Dub, the Ambassadors, Fast Pitch,
Yeah.
and then I have an Iloilo band called Point Click Kill, and
Yung
then Nancy Spungen from
yung
Cagayan de
Power
Oro.
Spoons ba ever nag-lighter press yun?
No, but Power Spoons was not part of the lineup when Sonic Boom was there, but
Okay.
they joined us like probably on the latter ones na. But Power Spoons was a band that I managed in the early years of my managing
Oo.
career.
Oo.
So this was around like late 90s.
Oo.
Like 99 to 2000 ganun.
Wow,
I think
ganun na pala katagal sa Power Spoons. Ang tagal.
matagal yan.
Okay.
90. Pero ano pa sila talaga noon? As in, they were like
Bago.
fresh out of high school pa or something like that.
To everyone's watching, we go way back. Alex and I, we go way back. As in, almost nakita ko rin how he put up Sonic Boom. Kasi yung mga panahon na I played for the band called Binaya. And then I remember exploring the Cebu music scene back 2005. Kasi naalala ko yung first album namin ng Minaya, musically produced by Gabi Alipe of Urban Dub. I believe Minaya was the first band he produced. Tama ba ako nun? Feeling ko lang yun yung nasabi sa akin. So what happened with Binaya was we recorded sa backyard studios where
pumunta pa sa Cebu, di ba?
We stayed there for almost 2 months tapos ni-record namin yung first album namin sa backyard studio. So like kahit paano na-experience talaga namin yung Cebu music scene that time, 2005. So parang grabe.
Wala pang Sonic Boom nun.
Ha?
That's the year after pa ang Sonic Boom.
The year after pa nga eh. So talagang pero grabe yung eksena niyo sa Cebu, bro. I mean, iba. I think hanggang ngayon ganun pa rin, nagbago lang ng konti. Pero iba yung passion ng tao nung time na yon. Yung mga Cebu artists, iba yung passion nila eh. I'm not saying na in a bad way, pero yung passion nung mga Cebu artists, parang feeling ko nung time na yun, parang feeling ko nasa ibang bansa ako. Ganun yung pakiramdam ko kasi ang gagaling, sobra. As in, no joke, no kidding. I think everyone can testify to this. Ang gagaling ng mga Cebuano artists. Yun yung that time Cebuano, of course, Bisaya artists magaling talaga, pero ibang klase yung mga Cebuano artists, bro.
I
Anyway.
remember that time also. That was like the early years of like the actually because I think considerably I was part of the third generation kasi of like the music spike in Cebu. So the first one I remember back in the days, everyone was always going to be part of the what we called before called local ground, which was in the East. So I was like really like very young by that time, but I've been hearing about that and like it was the heydays of like the radio station supporting like this really different groups of artists. And then from there, the next generation was the 90s where it was there's another set of group of individuals and bands who started becoming big at that time, and I think part of that second generation was Sheila and the Insects.
Yeah, Sheila, I'm a big fan.
So they were like one and then Franco was part of that as well. So they were called Frank by that time, and there was a couple of bands that time. Ako yung nasa third generation where at that time I was already in college and I was looking at like I used to do events when I was in college so the funny story there is that I made events before so that I can play because I used to be in a band back in the days, so for most people who know me now, they wouldn't think that I came from a band. I don't have that musical background per se, but I used to be with like Lalay and I used to be part of a band before nag-urban dub, right? So
which instrument do you play pala?
Ako I was I used to be bass talaga. Bass talaga I've been a bassist of different bands in Cebu back in the days when I was in high school and college. But then when Lalay and I got together, siya gitarista si Lalay before eh. And then what happened was I showed her like a Flea and Chad Smith instructional, and she was just like, after that, changed her life and she became a bassist. And the reason why I made her bassist then kasi nahirapan na akong kumanta na mag-bass. So
mahirap kumanta habang nagbe-bass.
So hindi aspiring kasi ako maging Sting, hindi pala pwede. so, so so then I asked my sister to, if you didn't know, si Lala is my sister of Urban
Lalay
Dub.
Lim, yes.
Yeah. So, yun, naging bassist siya, naging guitarista ako. And then we were doing the band scene. I remember we used to open for Frank and Sheila and the Insects back in the days. But I did my do of like doing events really just so that I could like play, because that's, when you're young, you want to play, you want to be part of the scene, But I was always a big music fan ever since. And if there was one thing that I have noticed about my journey is that I was always the guy who not only do events and try to figure out, like things that is not usually being done yet. I'm always curious about why things are not done this way. So in the days in Cebu, it was so hard to like there was no such thing as like like call time and a program. It used to be like first come first serve, or as in it was so all over the place back in the days, like when I was in college. So when we started doing events, yun nag-increase na ng mga ano. So I did have a background of events, but it was just for my pure pleasure of playing. So it wasn't really a business. It wasn't something to do with parang ano. But then I guess I got that whole thing in me na, because I remember back also in college, I was one of those person na if I look at like mga tapes and mga, what do you call this, mga CDs, I always look at the people behind the scene compared to just the artist. So when I look at the sleeves, my sleeve, the kids don't understand this anymore, but there used to be in a cassette tape and a CD, may mga sleeves yun sa likod and the credits are there, di ba? So when we look at those things, so makita mo, nasa starstruck ako sa mga people behind the scene like Angie Rasul, or even executive producers like Ricky Ilacad, or like things like that. But like Wally Chamsay was the biggest. I mean, I'm a big fan of like what he was doing in Sony back in the heydays ng Sony. So yung mga things like that. So I guess I knew I was already a guy who was
behind the scene talaga.
Yeah, parang gusto ko yung behind the scene. At the same time, I would love to be like aspiring rock star sana. Gusto ko wala talaga eh. Hindi talaga pwede.
So,
yung one day to realize.
Why Sonic Boom? Like, why the name Sonic Boom?
It's I'm a big fan kasi of I like back in my time, I remember I play a lot of Street Fighter, so
Guile.
And then si Guile is one of my favorite characters. So it took a while na parang I was looking at a really good name of a brand for it. When I was in Manila, when 2 years before this whole thing happened in Manila, kasi nasa Cebu pa ako, nag-iisip na ako ng pangalan for an event. So then I think one day I'm sure I stumbled upon again to Street Fighter and saw like, oh, I remember this guy. Like Guile has this power called Sonic Boom, diba? So
Sonic.
So I
Sonic
started
Boom.
researching. Yeah, so I started researching on Sonic Boom and then what it means and all that. So it's a sound that is, diba, like parang mabilis
Sonic,
na sound. Yeah. So and then it break barriers. So it was so good of a description where I said, that's what I want to become if I was an event. It was an event. So that's how it
Pero
it was
Sonic
formed.
Boom started as an events parang group muna, hindi talaga siya for management.
Actually,
sinabay mo na?
Actually hindi it wasn't really
Events or anything. Hindi talaga ganun.
No, it wasn't really management.
Okay.
To be honest, like the management was just separate, but just because I was using Sonic Boom na for a while,
Oo.
and then I had to make a business name out of it so that, like the usual thing, you have to pay
Oo.
tax and all that, diba? So you need to
Oo.
have papers, diba? So
Oo.
kaya naging management na yun siya, but from the very start of it all, it was really just a brand for the event.
Oo.
And the
Yeah.
idea was really to have it was an open format of different artists, and most of the artists, if you look at the lineup, there were all artists who didn't have any groups before,
Mm.
you know. So for example, 'di ba meron ng mga prods before like Admit One,
Play for
like
serve.
other groups,
Mga ganun.
Play for Serve.
Oo.
But these were the artists that they didn't have any certain I'm not just like ano bang term, campo, or my certain
Scene.
so like Urban Dub, we used to play for Serve and
Oo.
Admit One, but we never had this like certain
Sarili. Oo.
sarili
Pero
na ano,
I
like
remember that time kasi, bago pa nauso yung sobrang daming prods ngayon. Nung mga early 2000, nauso yung mga prod na ganyan, pero sobrang konti lang nila nun. And then, for me, that was actually the glorious days of having a production. Kasi, that time kasi, hindi pa masyadong sikat yung social media nun. Yung tao talaga pupuntahan yung production nyo. Tapos dahil konti lang sila, as in, alam mo yun, sobrang liit lang, sobrang compact, and you can really feel the scene. I mean now, of course, you can feel the scene, pero sobrang dumami na rin, which is good. I'm not saying anything.
Ang difference lang kasi siguro before and now is that before, when you say a small fraction of people going to that event,
Yeah.
it was because it was barely unknown to everyone. Then you can see talaga na the people who are going there were really like someone who would want to experience not the usual thing, right? So now kasi when you say events, it's because everyone's already so exposed to it. Then ang of course ang aesthetic niya is different talaga now to before, kasi before parang underground yung dating eh. But although ngayon ang nangyayari, like even sometimes nga I feel indifference about like some events or some artists that call themselves underground na nasa social media na tayo. Parang weird eh, So maybe they call underground as a sound, because back in my days, underground is really like punk rock underground.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
Legit
You
yun.
really wouldn't know. As in like wouldn't talaga alam kung ano yung nangyayari.
So,
Ngayon,
you've
broadcast
sige,
na kasi.
Go. So you formed Sonic Boom in Cebu muna or here na?
No, dito na. I said what I meant is like 2 years before that, I had the idea now when I was still in Cebu, because I wanted to make a regional thing where there's like an event na parang may mga taga Iloilo, taga Davao, like it was really a Visayas Mindanao regional event. But then ang hirap kasi to sort of like start it in Cebu because of the fact that there is no, in Cebu kasi there's no industry. It's really a scene, and when you say it's a scene, that means it's purely for passion, and purely you're gonna really invest on it. And some artists kasi would not want to invest, and some would, so ang hirap gawin. So I had to start it in Manila kasi in Manila it's a more common way not to do it eh. Like that's why you have the existing Admit One, you have the existing Play for Serve, sila Chris Ramos was already around that time. So they were already doing it. Ang difference lang siguro that I and the team of Sonic Boom was the contribution that we had siguro in the production scene was there was a lot of things that we did differently from the usual prods, So one was like, like I know na the prods are, it's for fun and everything, but we really wanted to make it a bit sort of, there's a part where it's like it's a business, but at the same time parang meron siyang output every time when you do it. Parang alam mo, para makita mo yung
hindi na siya laging katuwaan. Parang may
parang
goal talaga.
So the first thing that was presented when we were meeting, naalala ko yun, sila Aspen, si Georgina, si Jay Eigenman was part of it, like si Casas, Carlo Casas. They were the first few teammates I had
Yeah.
back in the days. Then I got them from different areas of the scene. And
Yeah.
the first thing that we sort of like the first thing that we kind of solved that time kasi was we noticed kasi that most of the production were in-house prods. Like for example, they were
Sa
always playing in the
lyrics.
same genre,
Oo.
you know. So if you're a prod, say ganito ka na prod, you're always known at say Amerix or Asagiho or
Oo, sige.
ganon.
Yeah.
What we did kasi, and partly of my branding of Sonic Boom was it was a tour type thing.
Mm.
So I was always trying to figure it out. Like, okay, if I was going to be just in Sagiho, then how about the fans of Alabang, or
Mm.
how about the fans of QC? You
Yeah.
know, they can't just go like alam mo. So because there is a huge audience naman around Manila,
Yeah.
so the idea was to put 1 year of different venues every time.
Yeah.
So medyo madugo yun at first kasi we were the ones who actually just went out of our way na, for example, this month nasa Sagiho
Oo.
kami, next
Tinur
nasa
tinur
Siksa.
niyo yung Sonic Boom. Yun yung nangyari.
Yeah.
Oo.
So when we did that, it was something new at that time, and no one was
Sa Rocks, di
doing
ba
it.
kayo ba nag-start dun?
Yeah.
Ayun,
And
grabe yung Rocks na yan.
like,
Rocks sa may
we
El
went to,
Pueblo, wala.
San Mig Alabang, you know,
Oo.
like as in talagang we went our way to look at different venues that time. So sa
Yeah.
isang year, sa 12 months in a year, we never repeat a venue,
Oo, totoo.
you know. So we look for 12
Mm.
venues at that time, and then
Yeah.
sometimes in the anniversary gagawa na kami ng parang totally bigger venue na
Yeah.
hindi usually ginagamit ng mga ibang prods
Mhm.
ng time na yun.
Mhm.
So I was always trying to look for like a connection that is not the usual, I guess, arrangement. So for example, there was one time na our first anniversary was done in that place in Metro Walk, that billiard place upstairs
Ano,
in Metro Walk. What's that
yes,
place?
I was there. I think I was there.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah.
Basta dun yun sa second floor. Oo.
Oh,
Yeah,
tapos
yeah.
like wala, like there was like, I remember that venue had bands there, pero madalas yung mga cover show bands, you know. So
Hindi ba Phatboy
when I
yun?
thought-
Hindi, no?
Phatboy.
Hindi Phatboy. Phatboy is the... Dun yun sa may billiard place eh. I remember that. Yes, yes.
Oo.
Mm.
So when I talked to the owners and said na parang it was so scary pa kasi they had bar guarantees. You know, so nakakatakot ba magganyan ba?
Oo.
Kasi parang hindi, I mean, I remember before kasi hindi pa masyadong common yung mga bar guarantees for productions eh. Now, sobrang kasama na yan sa deal, di ba?
Yeah.
So dati, when you have a bar guarantee setup, nakakatakot eh. Kung mapuno mo ba or or like may sales ba, no?
Mm.
So our first anniversary was, it was a successful event.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that nag-line up talaga mga tao doon.
Yeah.
And I think it's also because of the lineup. Kasi of course, it was the heydays also of Urban Dub.
Yes.
A lot of bands like Typecast were doing really good at that time. But they grew with us when they were starting out, you know. So
yung genre na yun, Chong, as in, iba talaga yung resurgence na yun, bro. Like, for me, I find every Sonic Boom event magical. Seryoso. Parang, kailangan mo talaga siyang puntahan kasi pagka hindi ka nakapunta, nandun yung FOMO. Nandun yung fear of missing out. Oo, parang shit, tangina, dapat pala pumunta ako, nandun yung dub. Shit, andyan pala yung Typecast, shit, andyan pala yung fast pitch. Yun yung mga naramdaman namin ng panahon na yun eh. I guess that's what you guys brought to the scene. Yung magical na experience na yun. Kasi ang pure lang nun eh. Sobra eh.
And what I remember then that was a bit one of the first things that we really tried doing is kasi dati ang style kasi medyo kampo-kampo din yung mga prods eh, like like may mga start so what we did was we didn't want to be part of that whole kampo-kampo setup. So
hindi, tsaka Alex, that time grabe yung mga solo shows. I'm not saying anything against about show bands, pero yun yung uso ng panahon na yun eh. Maraming mga pwesto. Yung mga pwesto yung uso nung time na yun. Tapos, nung lumabas kayo, talagang nagbago yung landscape din.
So, may times pa doon na parang, like, there's even like mga smaller groups who are starting. And then, for example, I remember that time, like, Mary Moon was starting pa. They were like a new group pa nung time na yun. But,
nag-start sila.
Yeah, Kerplunk. Like, what we did was we always made sure that there was like a representation of every prod in our show. So for
Oh.
example, if Plunk has certain artists, we kind of pick
Partner.
one or two from there and then put it on the Sonic Boom lineup.
Oo.
And then at least you're gonna have like more, parang sort of like a
Collab.
camaraderie thing going.
Collab na yun.
Yung collab.
Collab
Nung hindi
yan.
pa uso ang collab.
Di pa uso yung collab nun, ginagawa nyo na yan.
So yun, si Mary Moon, they had Tonight We Sleep. Parang ganun ba? We kind of like, so even if the newer prods are coming up, we didn't want to become like parang
Kayo
like,
lang.
So ang hirap. Like, hirap kausap niyang Sonic Boom na yan, ganun. Although, if there was one thing for sure, there were also people who didn't really like us because of the fact that we were so bent towards just a certain music that we were going for. But at the end of the day, kasi I always believe na it's like, it's not the end of the road
branding
for you.
Kasi yan, bro.
I always tell the artist na it's not the end of the road if you didn't get in sa amin.
And you can't really please everyone, you know? Kasi ang daming, totoo lang, ang daming artist eh. I mean, you cannot really cater to every genre. Hence, that's why I mamaya, bago natin puntahan yun, I would like to ask you this. Ano yung pinaka-memorable moment mo when Sonic Boom was still kicking?
There was a lot but like right now,
wholesome.
Ano lang talaga. There's a lot of ano ba klaseng memories?
Event siguro, event na lang.
Achievements ba or
event ano? Yun, pwede na yun.
Actually, there's a lot of things that we kind of spearheaded that time. Like things like, for example, even just the partnership of Mangaholics was something really different that time because we partnered with like a manga community group so that they're gonna be the one designing our posters. So our posters look really great because manga.
Kaya pala may time na parang manga style yung mga collaterals nyo.
Yeah. Okay. And then there was a time na like kasi we started out as an 8-bit looking kasi Sonic Boom nga because Street Fighter parang na-realize ko what if I just use mga family computer games
and make it press jumpstart mo. Naalala ko yung plot na yun.
Ganun. So parang as branding, sinama ko na rin yung idea na yun na sige, lagay nga natin yung ano. And it kind of worked kasi it's fun to look at eh. And you know,
true.
And 'di ba parang it contrasts the idea of anong music eh. Kasi parang, ang cute ng poster, tapos pagdating doon, heavy, rak-rakan pala, you know what I mean? So, it kind of give that whole really magandang contrast. And then, aside sa Mangaholics, ang isa sa ma-remember ko kasi isa to eh, like Rico Blanco's first appearance as a solo artist was on Sonic Boom.
Oo. Naalala ko rin yun.
It was in the second anniversary and he played for it was like the first talaga niya event performance niya na. I remember I was talking to Rico that time. I never thought he would do it because syempre he's a big time artist, 'di ba? So I said nung time na yun sabi ko, pa first dibs pag it was just out of just like a fun biro thing but then when he did it, I was just like, man, diba? Like, bro, that was amazing. Diba? It happened, So, aside from that, there's a lot talaga. Like, even having the inter-Asia connections where I'm flying in mga Indonesian, Malaysian artists, the whole Asian exchange program with Sonic Boom and some of the production outside of the Philippines.
Yes.
So, that was one of another highlights for us na introduce tayo sa Singapore, sa Malaysia, sa Indonesia na mga and that time it wasn't even something that was usual and no one was really spearheading that whole thing, So
parang nagkaroon ng exchange programs yung nangyari.
Yeah.
May mga nagpupuntang artist dito tapos may mga papadala ka rin sa Singapore, Malaysia.
Sa kanila or sa Indonesia or sa Malaysia and the biggest I guess the biggest move was the Invasia. I don't know if you remember that.
Parang.
Basta basically naalala ko yun. It was also like I think Love Me Butch was one of the first bands.
Love Me really... Butch. Damn. I love that band. I remember that band. Gustong-gusto ko yung banda na yun.
Grabe, magaling yun.
Oo, ang galing
Lovely
ng banda na yun. Grabe. Thanks for reminding me.
Amazing.
Sa sound tripping ko nga
So,
sila ulit mamaya.
yeah. So
Oh.
imagine like there was like when like it opened doors for us kasi when the first Bay Beats festival
Oh.
I remember I was talking to the founder of Bay Beats that time when I went to Singapore, and it was a festival where it was coined as an Asian music festival, and then it was their third year pa nila.
Oh.
And when I was seeing that whole thing, I was like, oh my God, there's like more pa pala outside of the Philippines that we're not looking at, so and then I asked them, bakit walang Philippines dito?
Yeah.
Kasi that time walang Pilipinas like it was all from Japan, Malaysia. So they told me some reason na parang that time daw they tried inviting mga Filipino artists, but apparently some of the Filipino artists are asking for too much TF,
Yeah.
hindi nila ma-afford. And I guess that time kasi no one really understood what the festival concept is all about. This was around 2006-07
Yeah.
2000. So hindi pa common yung idea of festivals that time eh. So I told the founder, I said, next year, give me 2 slots. I'll have your first Philippine artist, and then I'll bring in Sonic Boom as the carrier of that whole thing. So yun, nag-start yun na nagkaroon ako ng relationship sa Esplanade, sa Singapore, and then a year after, we brought in Urban Dub and Kwan because they were the first Filipino artists on that
set
lineup.
nila dun.
So it was, and then after that, like yun, tuloy-tuloy na yun, mga 3 years, we were the one who's putting in the lineup for the Philippines. So the second year, I put in Typecast and Fast Pitch. So, but the problem is, parang I think the Typecast didn't get to go that time kasi parang may nangyari sa kanila that time eh. So, but we were like pushing for that. Then the next year after that was like the Ambassadors and Taken by Cars.
Yeah.
So because
Saya nun.
like ang idea ko was to bring in the ones who are representing Sonic Boom in ano. So if you look at Sonic Boom then in general, hindi siya management kasi napapasok ko sila Typecast, sila Taken by Cars, sila Kwan, hindi naman sila manage under me. So it was really more of like an open thing. Parang partly may mga minamanage ako na kasama doon sa mga hindi minamanage ko na trip talaga ng audience ng Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
And may ano siya may listening committee kasi ang Sonic Boom eh.
Oo.
Hindi kasi
May nakikirate talaga.
so aside from me, the whole team kasi has a say. So for example, when they suggest something, ang una kong gagawin is, sige, listen to it. Pag sa amin pa, pag hindi na pumasa sa listening committee namin, then you don't get to the second stages of the listening committee.
Yeah.
So for example, may certain artist pinakinggan, nagsuggest si Aspen, nagsuggest si Jay, gano'n, tapos pakinggan namin. O sige, mukhang okay to. Tapos italang i-critic namin yan. Like, okay, bakit natin sila lalagay sa lineup? Gano'n. So, once na okay na sa amin yung artist na yon, the next phase is to send the song and, a bit like the song or like anything to do with that artist, dun naman sa mga artist na tumutugtog na sa Sonic Boom. So, magkakaroon talaga siya ng level of so kung natripan ng mga banda na tumutugtog sa Sonic Boom, then medyo nasa third stage ka na. Then the last stage would be the fans. So, pag the fans would kaya it was well curated. There were 3 stages of the curation na you can feel na when we do the event, malalaman mo talaga na yung fans are like very into it even if bago sila. Alam na nila ba? Kasi I used to think na it was the sound of Sonic Boom was near lang sa Warped Tour na sound yung time na yun but then I started putting in Julian, I started putting in December Avenue.
This was the Sonic Boom Light.
And then kayo.
Nag-start
So it was becoming parang it became to a point na parang we didn't want to limit ourselves to just that sound.
Kasi alam mo kasi Alex, you're not only ka talaga nasa business aspect ka talaga. Alam mo rin kung ano yung trend na alam mo yun, you also set you're a trendsetter. That's what I can say. Kasi nagulat ako nung time na parang oops, may lumabas na Sonic Boom Light. Tapos nagkaroon ng nagkaroon ng ibang batch ng genre with that one. So, I guess, I
Yeah.
believe yung mga nag-emerge doon was Clara Benin. Tama ako, di ba?
Yeah,
Si Clara,
Jensen Gomez.
Jensen,
sila,
yan. December
Kate-
Avenue. Ano yun, yung
Kate
pangalan nila
Turalba.
dati? Gusto ba nilang balikan yung pangalan nila dati? Wag na.
Hindi, wag na, baka magal si Zel sa akin. Hindi. But yeah,
Bro, kapatid ko yun.
like Kate Turalba,
Yun
Oo
si
nga,
Kate.
no? si Kate, sino pa ba? Dami nung time na yun eh. Tapos like, I saw kasi a new opening. Sabi ko, tapos naalala ko pa, Mondays pa yung event natin sa Sonic Boom Light sa may, ano yun, di ba?
Craft.
Sa Craft.
Oh, Craft.
Tapos, sobrang surprise yung may-ari nun na parang on a Monday, napupuno siya.
Oo nga.
Like,
Grabe,
I remember,
talagang nakita ko rin talaga yung ano mo eh, no? Like, happy ako na naging part ako ng Sonic Boom Light. Like, yes, finally! Finally, nakakatugtog na ako sa Sonic Boom.
Uy, tinignan mo ba yung yung sinend ko sa'yo na nandun ka? Nag-invite
Oo,
Brisom?
For 6 years
Diba?
ago, oh my God.
Ano yun, di ba?
Teka lang. Shoutout tayo, brother. So, shoutout
Okay,
kay
go.
shoutout kay Cheng. Ikaw, mga ano mo to, mga kaibigan natin to, kaibigan mo. So, I am,
Sige.
I am Sonic Boom. Si Cheng de la Cruz Purisima. Yun.
Yeah.
Tapos si Oya Angelo. Tapos may isa, sabi niya, si Cromwell Ojeda. Shoutout to Alex. Very fortunate to play a gig with Sonic Boom back in the days with his old band. So, shoutout daw.
Ayan.
Naalala mo pa si Alex? Naalala mo pa si Cromwell? Hindi na.
Yeah. Sa nasa na siya, di ba? Nasa Dubai?
Ah, okay. Oh. So,
Si
okay.
Chrome ba yan na banda din?
Zoom?
Sino sabi mo? Si Cromwell?
Hindi, Cromwell Ojeda. Oo.
Yeah, nasa Dubai na yan. Or
Anong banda niya dati?
I can't
Forgot.
remember.
Anyway,
alam
basta-
ko kasi yung banda niya sa dami rin. Pare,
Oo.
like tiningnan ko yung Sonic Boom na page ngayon
Oo.
sa Facebook.
Mm.
Pare, like, tignan mo punta ka sa Sonic Boom, tapos tingnan mo yung current active lineup pa nga, hindi pa na-edit. Pero tignan mo yung ang dami, almost like, tingnan mo, like,
Sige.
active lineup nung, Urban Dub, Willabaliw, Typecast, Hilera, December Avenue, J-Jab, Curbside, Faint Light, Tonight We Sleep, The Butcher Cons, Drop Decay,
Oo.
Bethany,
Oh.
Hollywood, Imbue, Los Paranoid City.
Imbue, no?
Sa Sonic Boom Light, it was Julian, Kate Turalba, Trisha Rivka Garcia, December Ab, Clara Benin, Brisom, Jensen and the Flips, Extrapolation.
Sabi ni David Abeleda, Sonic Boom Aniv, Achis Bar, El Pueblo.
Oh, yun. Yan,
Achis
El
ba
Pueblo,
yun?
yan.
Yun yung may
Achis
bilyaran.
Yeah, yung three.
Tama, naalala ko na.
Naalala mo
Achis
yun
Bar.
na three stages?
Oo.
Punta ka sa second floor tsaka sa third floor.
Oo, tama.
Grabe.
Nandun din ako nun. yung
Grabe.
yung venue, hindi yun yung 12 Monkeys, no? Yung ngayon, no?
Hindi pa. Ano yun? As in talaga,
Yung sa taas
tatlong
nun, alam ko may parang venue dun sa may taas. Alam mo, never na nagawa ng venue yun. Sayang yung area na yun.
brown bar ba yun? Or something?
Hindi ko alam,
Brown-
kalimutan ko na. Pero alam mo, somehow yung El Pueblo, may curse yan pagdating sa mga sa mga venue eh. So, ang nagtagal lang dyan talaga 12 Monkeys eh, so far. So, pa yun nga
Pero
pare.
yeah,
So moving on, brother. Kailan yung last event ng Sonic Boom pala? I mean, sino yung
The last
yung
event
ginis-
ng Sonic Boom na like technically ginamit ko pa yung brand. Kasi
Oo.
nag-lay low na ako nung umuwi na ako ng Cebu eh. Kasi
Oo.
I stopped everything, diba? From 2015 yun eh. I remember I stopped everything. I decided to get settled down and
Oo.
everything. So like as in I stopped talaga. And then
Oo.
I remember I was in Cebu. I tried it for like there was one thing na hinahanap ng Cebu na events is yung Sinulog Blast Off
Yes.
ng Sonic Boom.
Yes.
So I was it got to a point kasi na the last Sonic Boom Blast Off was in Waterfront and there were like 5,000 people and I remember kasi that time na I was in the event, parang I wasn't happy anymore, like it was just too huge, like parang I wasn't I sorry if it sounds selfish, but
No.
it's like
No
when
worries.
you look back kasi parang you know na you did that whole thing to get that connection going,
Yeah.
like, you know, and then
Hindi mo na
that
ma-feel.
event kasi was also na parang like, I just can't believe na I got to a point where there were people working for me na ba.
Oo.
You know what I mean? And
Oo.
I wasn't
May nagka-built by Sonic ka nga eh.
on
Yung
I
isa pa yun eh.
I wasn't hands-on anymore. Like I
Oo.
was like people were just like telling me na, yeah, just relax, man. You could, like, we're doing everything. So there were like third-party people involved na. So
Yeah.
I could have, I mean, it was good kasi parang I always planned. My dream was always to be in the situation in Cebu where one day, like I remember I was still in college and I was looking at Waterfront and then the Royal Grand Convention, and I was always looking at that place na sana one day I can make events here na rock, you know. And those places kasi it's very upscale eh. So you'll never have like kaya nga boards one time when on that event they were like looking at it, it's like it's so he always tells me this, like, alam mo, there's something about Sonic Boom na even us as Kamikaze we play there, parang it's a different crowd, you know. And
I've been
and we
hearing
never-
that a lot.
yeah, and we like
I heard that
and,
a lot.
And then boards kasi was like always like we always work together, and even sila Reg with Barangay Tibay. So we there's parang siguro I built this institution event where hindi na siya magmamatter kung gaano ka heavy kayo or gaano ka but I do put into account that there has that you have to be impressive live, you know. Kasi if there was one thing in Sonic Boom that you notice every lineup, walang hindi magaling live dyan, you know. Like you have to step up when you play in our event because you're gonna be side by side with Urban Dub, Fast Pitch, you know, like
Medyo tinaas niyo yung bar eh.
you know, like I remember there was Deja Vu na naalala ko nung bago pa sila, parang
Deja Vu.
Practice tayo kasi like, you know, chance na natin yan, like alam mo yung ganun,
Ganun din yung feeling ko nun. Ganun din yun.
and I guess it's not like masabi ko rin na sinasadya ko ba yun, but parang kasi maganda kasi talaga na you bring in the experience to the people na parang hindi kasi there was one thing about dub before and fast pitch na alala ko when we're new in Manila. We played in Freedom Bar and people,
I was there.
Like a lot of these musicians in Manila were like, how did you manage to make the sound of Freedom Bar in that?
Exactly.
You know, so as in gulat ba? So I think because
they have
of
shitty
that,
sound yung mga bar na yun, pero pag tumugtog yung fast pitch dub, wow.
yeah, I was just talking to if you listen to the podcast interview I have with Paolo Valenciano, and he was talking about the first time daw he saw fast pitch kasi they were playing in Capone's, and they were the band before fast pitch.
Salamin.
So then they played tapos sobrang bad trip sila kasi hindi daw maganda yung sound system, may mga ganun pa silang tapos wala, inom sila, then fast pitch played, and then they were like, what the hell just happened, like why are they doing it like that? So yun, dun sila na parang nagising na parang wow, we gotta work, you know, yung ganun parang ganun. So I guess,
alam mo Alex,
I guess,
I think you know why they like that. You know why napapatunog nila maganda yung venue? Because tight talaga yung tugtugan ng dalawang banda na yan, bro. As in hands down, they're fast pitch, urban dub, they're two of the most tightest bands ever when you watch them sa live. Parang ka nakikinig ng record nila mismo when they play, na it's almost unreal, like shit, paano nila nagawa yun? Actually bro, nung eksena ng time na yun, lahat kami mga listeners na nagbabanda rin, yun yung question namin eh. Naging inspiration talaga namin yung mga bands from Cebu. Kaya nga nasabi ko kanina, parang ang magical na binibigay nyo sa amin, not only for the listeners na hindi nagbabanda, but for us artists too. Actually, marami ako natutunan sa ano nyo eh, sa Sonic Boom. Marami natutunan doon.
There's this funny story one time na I was judging Red Horse. I gotta tell this story.
Yeah, sure.
So I was part of the Music Laban judges, right? So and then Urban Dub was a Red Horse endorser band before. So I was there with Jericho, with Francis Brew, Joey Dizon, and Pepe Smith. Okay. Now we were at the judging point where it was the Cebu side now of things. So there were like a couple of like 2 Cebu bands playing for that. So nanood kami, we're there, and live talaga, and we're like judging. And then as soon as the band played, as in they were really bad, live. So these contestants from Cebu, I can't remember their name, but as soon as they were done and they left the room, pare, lahat ng judges nakatingin sa akin, no? Kaya, anong nangyari doon, Lex? Sabi ko, hindi naman siguro lahat ng taga Cebu, kasi siguro ang impression ba?
Kasi yung laki ng expectation
was, diba? So I was like, grabe naman kayo, ha? Parang nakatingin talaga lahat eh. Ano nangyari doon, Lex? Parang ganun eh. So it was really funny. At the same time, parang I could say na we brought in the game as well. When we were there. So yeah, I mean, so anyways, the last event talaga of Sonic Boom was that. Yung biggest one was that. And then I tried doing it again pala on the summer of 2015 ata or 16. Basta I had this event called Sonic Boom what's that? Summer Sonic Summer. Yung gano'n. Binaliktad ko lang yung Summer Sonic ng Japan, right? So, Sonic Summer. So it was more of like the idea was it's a camp out, and then there's it didn't really pan out that well. Like, so I kind of had this feeling na from the time na I was doing the biggest event and then we stopped it, and then parang I had feeling na parang siguro nawala na talaga yung bago na talaga yung eksena. So I was like kind of like, and since I'm in Cebu, hindi ko mare-replicate kung ano nang nangyayari sa Manila, because that time when the last events in Manila I had was like sa anniversary was probably one of the best event. Yung issues. Yung talagang
I was there too.
yung for the whole month, every weekend was a Sonic Boom event. Yun yung bale ginawa ko noong time na yun was Sonic Boom for the whole month of August. So it was issues on one weekend. It was Sonic Boom Light on the Lucky Chinatown, and then and then we have like the sub Sonic Boom sub, where we had more of the parang pumasok ako doon sa sa mga indie sound like, and then or different na mga lineup na hindi Warped Tour sounding artist, like first time ko napatugtog si what's his name? Ron Henley. Naglagay ako ng hip hop. Naglagay ako ng yung first performance. Not first performance, but I remember Autotelic played for me for the first time. They were still new kasi I had the lineup that time na si Naked Lights kasi yung gusto ko na artist. I don't know if you've heard of that, the Naked Lights. That was the band of that was the band of Josh before the Naked Lights, before Autotelic. So pinatugtog ko yung Naked Lights, biglang nag-break up yata sila or nagkaroon sila ng internal. Josh asked me like I didn't even meet pa Enzo that time eh. But I remember Josh was saying, "Sir, like sorry, hindi kami makatugtog ng Naked Lights. Can I put in this other band called Autotelic?" I was like, sige, just give me muna kasi we have a process kasi of listening muna to the artist. Kasi, di ba? So, and then I listened to it and I remember I was like, ang galing naman itong Autotelic na to. Like it kind of reminds me of like a modern sugar-free na parang may parang
Japanese vibe. They have that Japanese
diba?
Music vibe. Yeah.
Parang ganun ba? So yun tumugtog sila. So that one, and then the biggest one in Eastwood. So it was one of the, I guess, the best Sonic Boom then kasi we had a tie-up with Mega World, and Mega World was very supportive in our vision and brand ba. And maybe because we are also a tenant in Mega World kasi may shop ako, diba? So yun. So the last one was that one, in Cebu, and it didn't really pan out well. I was probably the lowest audience I had from all the Sonic Boom events. So after that, parang na-feel ko na parang nagbago na yung yung sa Cebu hindi na there needs to be a change. And I didn't want to be part of that parang drive of what's happening in Cebu that time kasi parang wala lang, parang it just had too much work, and I felt na parang there should have been a template already that most Cebuanos would have seen from the success of Urban Dub, Fast Pitch and all that. But nangyari kasi parang nagbago na rin yung style na even promotion wasn't even a strong suit from the bands that were there. There were a lot of good bands, but they were not super engaging ba? Like, you know, so I don't know, I could get some hate on this statement, but the thing is, parang I just felt na naging complacent yung mga Cebuano bands that time, you know. So I stopped it because I said I'm not gonna be able to do this event if manggagaling lang siya sa South or sa Cebu lang alone. So it and Sonic Boom has always been a regional thing where like there's always different, you know, artists and from Manila, you know, it was always mixed. So I really wanted lang to see if it would work na taga South lang lahat, which is the original plan of Sonic Boom in the first place. You know, na like it was so I realized talaga na the Cebu is still just a scene and it's not an industry, you know. So up until today, you know, especially now na nag-pandemic pa, so parang it's a long way to go for us to become an industry.
So going there sa pandemic, brother, like kamusta yung eksena ngayon sa Cebu ngayong pandemic ito? Kasi I've never talked to anyone na gusto ko mangamusta sa Cebu scene. So kamusta naman ngayon ang eksena sa Cebu?
Well, I think everyone's doing the same thing as what Manila is experiencing. I guess the only difference na talaga here and Manila is that when you are a national artist or even not a national artist, like you're like a national plus you're living in Manila. Yeah. So if you're an artist there, it is a custom right away ba na merong media na magsusupport sa'yo. So, for example, if you're a new artist, you can get easily you can get an interview in a radio station there, right? Yeah. In Cebu kasi, parang as much as the media is huge din here, it's not. Well, it's starting to be like that na from other radio stations. But I guess even with Magic, when I used to work there, I've managed to really like have the management look at the OPM and like, you know, local ba. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can only do so much here kasi like ilan lang yung station, ilan lang yung mga newspaper.
I think parang I heard you're working with Warner Music Philippines. Tama ba ako?
You heard na.
But no, I learned it from Kelly. You know, Kelly's Sir Kelly mga tayo na. Anyway,
I worked for Warner. I started last year lang. So 1 year na ako for Warner. But,
so what do you do for Warner?
Right now, I'm basically I'm part of the A&R team under Kelly's team, no. But I'm taking care of the Visayas Mindanao side of Warner. So it
Dahil
was
a great... breakout eh. Yung gusto ko yung Route 83. Yes, I like them. Yes.
So it's the thing is that like it's a dream come true for me, I guess, because you know we can do much because I've been indie for 20 years, man. Like I know how it is, like how to work around it, and even I that got a lot of I guess achievements out of it, I can still say that it's not for everyone. It's not easy to be in the position that I had before na parang to hustle and, you know, but now that I'm in the major label, parang it's given me more doors to like, I really thought na I was one of those people na huwag na tayo mag-label. Ganun ako. Ganun ako dati. Hindi tayo all the way. But I guess what I can say now na parang to parang rephrase of all the things na I felt about what majors were. Parang I guess at the end of the day talaga, it's the people you're gonna be working with.
Totoo yan.
You know, it's
yun yung gusto kong sabihin.
Whether you're indie,
Oo.
kung olats yung katrabaho mo sa indie, hindi ka
Wala
rin.
Oo, totoo
Wala
yan.
rin.
Tama ka dyan.
Same sa major, kung olats mga katrabaho mo doon, hindi rin talaga mag-work. So,
Yes.
there was one thing that I always tell the artists, you can never blame everyone. You have to
Yeah.
blame yourself and you have to really do everything yourself. You know, like you have to lead your career, you know, like no one's gonna do it for you.
Exactly.
You know? Right? So, yeah, like, so I'm sure that's the way to succeed talaga in this ano. And then
Alam mo, ang napapansin ko ngayon with these major labels, bumabata na yung mga nag-spearhead. Yun ang napapansin ko, which I'm not discrediting or anything. I full respect sa mga dating head. Pero like with MCA, si Enzo, I'm so happy for him. He released Island Records, Def Jam, and then si Sir Ian sa Warner, and then si Kelly nag-A&R. I'm like, these people are my friends. Like I know Kelly, I know Enzo. So parang
Kelly also was the one who convinced me to join talaga Warner because I was, there were some other labels who wanted me to work for them,
of course,
right? So I just wanted
label ko yung isa doon.
Tapos sabi ko kay Kelly Kelly convinced me because he was, like Kelly and I go way long pa before pa talaga. Like we've been I remember Kwan was the first band to be part of the Bay Beats Festival. So I know Kelly that well. Like we were, and then Kelly was also like Dicta license pa, kasama na siya sa Sonic Boom, 'di ba? So matagal na kami magkakilala talaga ni Kelly. And then that's the reason why I even went for Warner. It's because of like I can see myself working with these people because
at pala sinama natin si Kelly dito eh. anyway.
So yun yung nakikita ko na parang like again nga, if I'm gonna work with like a big corporate company or like that multinational, parang I want to make sure na I'd be comfortable with the people there.
Yeah, of course. Yun nga yung tama ka. Kaya I totally agree with you sa nakakatrabaho mo talaga yan. Totoo yan. That's true.
Kasi dati, what surprises me now that I'm inside Warner now, like it surprises me how the resources pala is there. Pero yun nga, back in the days when I was under a major as the manager of some artists under major, parang you don't really get to know the things that you need to know because the majors before, parang some of them kasi talaga is just working there as part of the cog, I guess. They're just working. Some are not visionaries, I guess. So nothing against that, but I think parang it's one way to say na like artists will succeed in the major label if both the major label and the artist kasi knows their vision. Kasi the business, kasi you have to like really connect commerce and creativity. That's the only way to succeed. But if you're super creative and you don't understand the commerce, it's not gonna go anywhere. If you're too commerce naman and you don't have the creativity, it's not gonna go anywhere. So yun yung nakikita ko na now when we start talking to the artists now, parang we have to let them understand what the business is all about, because hindi pwedeng papasok ka lang sa label because you don't know na it's all just about you being talented. It's not that. It's you have to know that every areas of your career,
Hindi ka pwedeng just artist lang eh. Kailangan okay, it's fine to start being an artist. We all start from there. Pero as you progress, kailangan malaman mo rin talaga yung isang side ng sa music.
Here's the thing, here's the thing that I want to say also, parang
go. You
can't like I tweeted this you can't advance in anything if you keep complaining.
Speaking of complaining,
Huwag na tayo pumunta dyan. Basta I'm just saying ba na alam mo like
you know what, ito lang Alex, so lang sabihin to. You can complain as long as you want to, but never diss a fellow artist. Okay? Alam niyo na kung sino yun. And also, you can complain, but if it's another fellow artist, kung hindi mo siya trip, mag-usap na lang kayo sa circle mo. Wag mo nang siyang sabihin sa social media kasi bastos eh. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yun lang yun.
Meron ba yan, Chong?
Kaya alam mo na yun.
Ba? Hindi, pero I mean like, yeah, well, kasi dati kasi may mga ganyan naman sa eksena natin.
Oo, hindi talaga nawawala yan eh. We all have something to say.
Yan.
Hindi talaga nawawala yan.
Ang okay lang dati kasi, walang Twitter.
Walang tweet, hindi tayo nagve-vent out sa social media. Kumbaga, lalaki sa lalaki, tao sa tao usapan. Ngayon kasi, may maisip ka lang na ganyan, babanatan mo na si ganun. I-accuse mo ng ganyan. Anyway, so, yun lang. Sa mga at least sa mga 9 viewers, sa 9 million viewers natin ngayon, kung may musikero dyan, kung may mga hanash kayo sa industriya, kung meron kayong mga hanash sa fellow artists nyo, keep it within your circle, okay? Yun lang yung sabihin ko. Kasi, ang pangit ang kakalabasan, ang lalabas sa masama kayo eh. Yun yung hindi maganda ron.
Pero I guess ano naman on a different standpoint, like let's say kung nagtingin mo sa ibang countries.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanna really hip hop about it, then pwede ka man
they do that shit. Yes, they diss each other sa hip hop.
But make sure na when you do that, kung hip-hopan ka man dyan talaga, and if you do that,
patayan nga rin eh.
you better have the backbone to back it up, right?
Oo, totoo yan.
Okay lang yun, you know? So,
hindi yung mag-log off ka lang sa Twitter para makalimutan ng lahat. Anyway.
So yeah.
That was a shitty thing that he did. Anyway,
Hindi ko alam sino sinasabi mo eh. The thing is, you know, like, with also another thing I want to say is like, if you do complain naman din talaga, kasi I do that. I kind of complain like most of the time. But if there was one thing I do after complaining is to find solutions.
Okay? Sabi nga ni Dane Sanchez, brother, cancel culture is cancer culture. We have to cancel culture. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I do get it. Like
bring
even
back
before,
Aunt Julie.
Even before with Sonic Boom, we used to a lot of like there was a couple of artists bands who felt na we were canceling them out because they couldn't get in. Pero the idea talaga kasi is it was a brand, and some people kasi don't, or some artists, some people don't understand how that works, you know, like and I do get it, like, you know, it kind of frustrates some na hindi makapasok because may ano, like I feel that way for some of the institution right now in the industry na but
kasama talaga yung bro eh.
Pero yun, di ba, like hindi naman pwedeng you have to be everywhere, you know.
That's a difference then and now. Then ito yung observation ko, you need to be great. Alam mo, you need to be really good para mapasama sa, alam mo yun, sa isang Sonic Boom or any prod, para mapansin ka. Ngayon kasi, maglabas ka ng ganyan, magpa-hype ka lang, basta okay yung following mo, game na. 'Di ba? Kaya nagigets kita noon yung marami na frustrate na hindi mo siya nagiging part, ganyan. That time, iba eh. Iba talaga noon eh.
Parang sinasabi nila na parang gatekeepers and all that. But the thing is, hindi, man, come on, even now, may gatekeepers.
Maraming gatekeepers doon naman. Maraming.
Ng playlist ng Spotify, ang daming gatekeepers doon eh.
Dami.
So, hindi mawawala yan.
Hindi talaga
you know?
yun.
So, it's like, if you think na hindi ka makapasok and you're gonna prove them wrong, then make your own movement. You know, parang gano'n.
Prove them wrong. Yeah.
I remember before, like when I was starting this new thing, Beat This, like like a lot of people didn't think that I was going to, you know, sort of maximize it because I came from the rock scene, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I started doing this whole beat music production stuff. But 3 years down the line, like I knew not everyone believed in it, but now like I'm getting a lot of like good connections from it. And it's actually one of the reasons why I think I got inside Warner, kasi like we saw this new pool of artists and, you know, music that's coming out, you know, na uy, ba't natin din tinitingnan yan, 'di ba? Like okay din yan eh. So yun lang, ako naman parang and dumating na rin ako sa point na I really don't have to prove anything anymore.
Tama.
You know what I mean? Parang
wala ka ng pake. Oo.
So if you're gonna like it, then go. If you don't, then okay lang. Basta
you know
ako,
what? I guess Totoo lang guys, sa mga nanonood, pagka dumating na kayo sa point na parang you don't have to prove anything anymore to anyone, tapos wala na kayo pake, that's the time na may, alam mo yun, parang sort of like mag-i-emerge ko ano yung gusto nyo mangyari. Kasi totoo lang, malaking factor yung yung nakikinig sa sinasabi ng ibang tao sa nagpapa-apekto ka. Malaking factor yun, malaking hindrance yun sa isang career ng with anyone. So if you start not caring for it, that's a great step. So Alex bro, so what have you been doing nowadays? Anong pinagkakabisihan mo aside from being with Warner?
So yun nga, Warner, 1 year na
aside
ako,
from being a daddy. Makulit na yung anak mo for sure.
Grabe. So looking at the catalog, I was looking at the catalog, parang mga 30 songs na na-release ko under my watch, no? So
ang dami na rin.
Yeah, so for 1 year. So and then now I've been like, I still have more releases to come. So parang that's actually one thing. But then it's really like I'm trying to build Beat This to become like a portal. Trying to be like, ang influence ko kasi dati NU107 you know. So
same here.
I mean, like, it's a dream, but if I get there, then good. If not, it's okay. I'm still gonna do what I love,
Yeah.
But the idea really is if I can bring Beat This to that level where it's gonna be like it's a channel where people would go. So basically, what I've done with Sonic Boom, I'm kind of doing it again with Beat This Philippines, but it's really more a newer genre, a newer sound, I learned from the mistakes I had before and try to make it a strength now. Then, but when you're in the music industry, you never stop learning.
Yeah.
You gotta,
No, never.
especially now, grabe. Like recently lang, TikTok na naman yung pag-iisipin. Alam mo, dami mong iisipin like, you have to learn it no?
Unless if we ban TikTok here, which won't happen.
Well, if they're gonna ban TikTok, then Facebook naman, meron naman silang bago din.
Oo nga.
Reels, right?
Lalo
Reels,
lang.
Instagram Reels, di ba? Kalaban ng TikTok. But
Oo nga, may Reels na.
Yeah. So what I mean is like, it's a never-ending process, and then what I've learned along the years, like, I mean, I really thank the experience I had with Sonic Boom and when I started that whole thing until the end, because it really like let me learn about like a lot of challenges in life ba, na parang musically ba, like how things evolve now in the music industry. And it's right now nga, it's not even like I don't aim to do this because of like the opportunity to make money or something, or it's a business. Like, I do get the business part of it, but the biggest part of me why I'm still doing it is really because of contributing change, like to see if there is still more to do in the industry, like not to be in a safe place ba, okay na yan na yun but try to challenge everyone as much as I can, not in a bad manner, but it's like in a nice way we can,
Basta iba na ngayon. Iba na yung way ngayon from before. Iba na. Malaking ang galing
So yun yung ko nakikita ko na, and I think it's really more of like I've always had this parang hip hop na hip hop na motto na I go by. It's like, I'm not here for the money, I'm here for the game. Pop, But yeah, so but really it's that. It's kasi it excites me about things that are happening in the industry. And if there was one thing that I really want to be part of is yung tinatawag na the Filipino global music movement. I want to be part of that. I want to know how to figure it out for one artist to get to that stage. Because everyone right now, I see it. Early stages ngayon everyone's trying their best to go into the Philippine, the global Filipino global stage.
How is the industry doing it? Because I want to ask you, with these international labels coming in, the new ones, the new sub labels like Paradise Rising, Island Records, and then Def Jam will be launching it here soon. Yun ba yung isa sa mga
I think early stages yan.
Oo.
Talagang nanonotice na yung ano. Kasi the Philippines now kasi is, if you didn't know, I went to this event, Sonic Philippines, where it's a business thing, music business thing, diba? Kinala Constantino,
Yeah.
sila,
Yeah.
group nila, diba?
Homonym guys.
There you go. So, and I remember everyone was talking about like the next wave for like the Filipino global, right? And you know na everyone's trying to figure out, like they have ideas of where to get there, but until one is successful, then that's the only time we really know na it's there, right? Kasi right now, if you say na kasi na Filipino global kasi, it's not just about like before, let's say kami sa Dub nakapuntang Singapore, then we created a market there. It's not just about that na anymore. It's really, when you say global, you're talking about the world knowing you.
Yeah.
You know? It's not just the step of getting into like a place where you're known in that area. You know? So
88
how do
Rise
you
is doing
get
good
there?
with that.
Yeah. So 88 Rising is doing this Asian
Yes.
diaspora marketing, right? So it's really doing good for them.
Oh,
Now my question lang is who's going to be leading that pack na
Here.
Pinoy?
Ah.
So I'm hoping out of the 5 meron na
The guy
like,
who
you know,
dissed Michael Pacquiao, I guess. Oh no, he's not pala. He's with Warner.
Gago. Pagalitan ng Kelly.
Si Jason Dacal. Anyway, I love that guy.
So,
He's talented. You know, he
Yeah.
just likes dissing artists. So anyway, moving on.
But yeah, so yeah, nakaka-awkward moment ka naman, Chong. You know. So anyways, the idea is really like, how do we get there? You know, I do have some ideas on how to get there, but I'm not telling you or I'm not telling anyone here.
Of course.
Kasi not because I don't want you to know.
Of course.
I will tell you. I will tell you later off.
Sige.
But the idea why I'm not telling it muna is because it hasn't been done yet. So baka mamaya maudlot ba kung sabihin ko na dito ano yung plano ko, diba? So, ma-jinx eh. So yun yung ano ko, but I do have some ideas na like how to get there. It's just
meron pala tayo pag-uusapan off air. Tara, off air na tayo. Guys, this has been
and then the thing is that for this whole pandemic time na nangyari to, parang meron akong
ngayon.
Tsaka parang like I was telling, parang akong detective now eh. Alam mo yung parang meron akong web of, alam mo yung may string, tapos may picture, tapos eto, ganyan.
Nag-investigate ka.
Nag-investigate. Paano kaya natin gawin ang Filipino Global?
Sarap, no? Sarap din ang ganyan eh, no? Alam mo yung parang pinag-aaralan mo yung takbo ng industriya. Ibang ako rin ganun din ako, bro eh. Ibang feeling din yun eh.
Alam ko naman ikaw ganyan eh. Like,
thank you for acknowledging that.
Kaya tayo palaging pag nagkakape tayo, umaabot tayo ng katagal. No?
Nalala ko, pinuntahan ka pa namin sa Cebu eh. Para ka si Yoda, wala na puntahan. Yun nga.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like and merong way, pero for me, it's the early stages happening now. 3 years ago, when I did Beat This, I kind of saw it a bit now what was gonna happen in 3 years. But then, alam mo yung parang kutob mo lang yon or gut feeling mo lang nung time na yun. But then when you see it happening now, parang sabi mo, my God, ito yung mga nakikita ko, like that, like Paradise Rising, ayan na, pumapasok na mga sub-label, ayan na. So sabi ko, and talk about how timely it is when I'm in a genre or in a sound na natatamaan dun sa mga connections na yon, 'di ba? Kasi nasa producer, beats making, ganun yung sa akin. It's biglang Paradise Rising is here. You know, so 3 years ago parang it's like now you're gonna like look at like I was dreaming of like that thing, and then now it's happening. So it's just a matter of time that everyone tries to connect. Like Tarsier Records now is doing well. Careless Manila, you know, and all these like mga so
yung question ko, yung Warner ba may parang sub-label din sila? Like island or...
Wala. Actually, merong mga pwedeng gawing sub-label kasi like syempre kami naman like 88 Rising is actually under the ADA umbrella which is Warner. So, ang full distribution ng 88 Rising globally is Warner. So, yeah. Then
kaya
meron din
pala.
yung
Gets. Okay, now I get it. Alright. Makes sense.
So may isa pa yung Spinning Records yan. Like kilala din yan sa EDM na world. So yan pwedeng dalhin dito. But Kelly and I kasi we're thinking differently eh. Parang in a way we just wanted to develop first the artists here or actually bring in
sabi rin ni Kelly sa amin.
Events, you know. Kasi the idea kasi imagine like Parlophone sa amin din yan. 'Di ba? So imagine mo magdala tayo ng Parlophone dito, 'di ba? So pwede rin eh, pero ang question kasi sino pwede maging Radiohead dito? I mean, I don't want to be that
I get it.
Like, in a situation where like lagay mo na si Parlophone tapos biglang sinong itatapat mo sa Radiohead or mga ganyang artist na bagay sa Parlophone, 'di ba? Parang ang pressure nun, Chong, you know? Ang pressure nun, 'di ba?
Pero
so,
may mga sa off-air na lang natin pag-usapan 'yan.
Yeah.
So okay, Alex, ano natin, let's try to wrap things up slowly. What gusto ko sanang humingi ng how do you do this? Parang what can you say to the aspiring artists na nanonood ngayon and yung mga makakapanood ngayon itong stream natin na to?
Okay. Actually, as far as kasi ang gusto kong iparating talaga sa mga artists, especially the new ones, is to really like when I talk to artists, if they don't have the hint of anything na they don't know about the history of Philippine music and how it works, medyo ma-off ako sa kanya. Because at the end of the day kasi, even how good you are, you need to look back at the people who are there before you. You know? Not because necessarily na kailangan talaga na i-acknowledge mo sila, but more than knowledge. Pag-aralan mo ba, like, paano kaya to dumating siya dyan? Paano kaya to dumating siya dyan? You know? Like, I don't mind. I don't mind if you don't respect that OG or gusto mo like ikaw yung mas magaling kaysa kanila. I don't mind. Like if tingin mo talaga na ikaw ang magaling, but mas magaling ka pa if you're
knowledgeable ka about
those things. And you have to be observant. If there was one thing I noticed with the younger kids now on the scene, kulang sa observations. Parang when I say observation, madalas kasi instant sa kanila eh.
Oo nga.
You know,
ngayon.
So, but then, like even with the instant information, you don't even observe now how it's going to pan out.
Yeah.
You know, parang so yun yung like I guess the advantages now nga with me like overwatching the artist that is under Warner in the South is that I can give them the sort of like the tips of the trade but to actually where they should be going, so because I used to manage bands back in my days, diba? So and then I had numerous experience in the music industry. I still say I'm not the expert, but like from my experiences you can learn from it, you know. So that's what I really wanna tell the artist is that parang instead of tweeting your feelings, you just like observe.
Biktima rin ako dyan mga tweeting na feelings na yun.
Alam ko, Chong.
Anyway.
And eto yun. Dito ako magaling. Nag-o-observe lang ako sa inyo. Yun, diba? Parang it's like, you gotta just be like that person, so kasi sometimes if you take too much of the attention of everyone on your end, minsan madidistract ka eh.
Feeling mo lahat ng opinions mo relevant.
Distract ka talaga.
Yun yung nangyayari sa mga artists na na maraming following sa Twitter or malakas sila sa Twitter. Twitter lang actually. Twitter lang. Sa Facebook, sa ibang social media platform, sa Instagram, wala yang ganyan. Sa Twitter lang talaga nangyayari yan eh. Ako, honestly with me, as much as I wanted to not focus on a Twitter. Ayoko na talaga rin. Pero kailangan sa artist. That's why I tell many artists, consider nyo rin yung Twitter. Kasi maraming artists kasi na hindi masyadong active sa Twitter, which is fine.
And it's okay nga. Like, it's okay, like for me, because the platform naman kasi is about opening your talagang opinion mo eh. Fine. Basta i-back up mo.
Oo nga.
Example, pag nagkasala ka, or like you felt na everyone is on you, then you have to know when also to apologize. Diba? Ganun lang naman yun eh.
Oo nga eh.
Hindi naman kailangan na, like, diba?
Apologize in a very sincere way. Or very sincere manner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, kasi it humanize you eh, 'di ba? In a way,
Oo
'di
nga,
ba? Kung galit ka sa Twitter, hindi ba pwedeng makita rin yung vulnerable side mo? Pwede naman eh.
At saka sa Twitter kasi uso yung mga accusations diyan. So before you accuse anyone, you need something to back it up. That's it.
Yeah.
Hindi pwede yung parang ayun yung ginawa niya nung 5 years ago. Hindi pwedeng ayun yung ginawa niya na nakita ko siya doon eh. Hindi pwede yun eh. Hindi pwede yun. Kahit sabihin mo pang totoo yun, hindi totoo yun. sa ina-accuse mo, hindi totoo yun. Kasi, first of all, hindi naman talaga nangyari. So, ganun. Tama nga, Alex. I totally agree with you with that one.
Yeah. My question pala to you,
Yes.
Brian, is that like kasi I'm thinking kasi of doing a Sonic Boom because after 14 years na like not because hindi naman 14 years kasi natapos nga siya in 10 years eh.
Yeah.
So technically 14 years na siya. It was born 14 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking kasi of doing some a podcast about my concept ako, it's a Sonic Boom stories. You know, so I'll interview certain people, from people to fans to behind the scene guys about the experience they had with Sonic Boom ba. So, ikaw, what was your highlight experience in Sonic Boom? Kasi I remember
Sonic Boom, well bro, the first gig of Urban Dub I believe was in Marikina Riverbanks, right?
Yes, yes.
May Sonic Boom na ba nun? Wala pa nun. Wala pa.
Wala pa.
Sige, so hindi kasama yun. Hindi kasama kasi wala pa Sonic Boom eh. Probably, I guess yung...
Like maybe look at it as a listener perspective and then as an artist.
Yun talaga yung mga time na, as I mentioned a while ago, yung magic na... There was just a magical feeling whenever... And hindi lang ako makaka-attest ito, marami rin. Even my partner, si Marsha. You know, Marsha is a Sonic Boom baby. You know that. Lagi, Sonic Boom with her barkada that time, they always go to your gigs. So, that time kasi, before din kasi, I used to, siguro I've been to, marami rin ako pinuntahan sa Sonic Boom, pero not like my partner. So, kinukwento niya sa akin yung talagang mga experiences sa Sonic Boom. But with me, yung pinaka-okay ko siguro na experience with Sonic Boom was with Sonic Boom Light when I was performing for you na rin. Kasi parang yung time na yun, medyo parang, oh wow, you started exploring to a different side of music. So I think that experience for me was nice kasi as Brisom, we were just starting out then. So, isa ka rin sa mga naniwala sa amin nun. So, thank you, bro. Anyway.
Is there like an artist you discovered
Sonic Boom?
Sonic Boom events na parang like...
Love Me
Of course,
Butch.
not Urban Dub and
Love Me Butch.
Alam mo na yun eh.
Love Me
talaga
Butch
dun,
nga. Oo, bro. Sa lahat ng mga dinala mo rito or pinromote mo, yung Love Me Butch yung sobrang nag-stick talaga sa akin. As in, sobrang sina-trip ko rin sila like I did with Urban Dub. Urban Dub sa influence. Kasi yun talaga yun yung I think that's the only OPM album na pinakinggan ko na isang taon straight. So, there.
Wow.
Big fan. Anyway.
Well, that's my question lang kasi I wanted it would be fun to actually talk to you on the other end of the spectrum where I talk about Sonic Boom stories as a podcast.
And you know me, I wouldn't really give you bullshit. Anyway, guys, again, Alex from Sonic Boom. Yung Sonic Boom is it parang laylo or wala na talaga siya?
Supposed to be. I'll give you something of an information.
Okay.
He was supposed to go back this year.
Okay.
Yeah, kasi somebody in the industry sort of like wanted to bring it back, and for the longest time I didn't want to do it kasi at first he wanted to partner with me on that, but then he told me na what if he buys the rights and then continue with it, and then he just would give me the percentage of
meron ka pa rin
royalties.
dun.
So ako naman, I was thinking, rather than it's going to be natutulog, di ba? Why not, di ba? So tsaka I trust man this guy who wanted to bring it back, but unfortunately because of what happened, we were about to close the deal na around February to just like start na, and then this whole thing happened, so medyo yun nga
na push back mo na siya.
As in, I don't know if ano ba, kasi ang biggest thing kasi sa Sonic Boom is ang live events eh. You know, so I don't know when it's going to be back again eh. You know, like this.
Everything will be back, bro. We're all excited na bumalik na lahat, and it's going to happen definitely. So doon ako na-excite pag bumalik na lahat sa Ha?
Pag nandiyan na yung vaccine, magpapa-vaccine ka ba?
Yung potency, yung vaccine na potency. You know, it's called potency, right?
Really?
Yeah, but no, it's, diba, he was saying that it's from Russia, so potency.
Totoo yan?
No. It's a meme. It's a meme. So
it would be a good name. I mean,
actually, it's a very good branding of potency. Anyway, kung ano naman sinasabi natin dito. Alright guys, sa lahat ng mga nandito pa, thank you so much for staying with us. And sa mga future na manonood, thank you rin sa mga nanood. Again, this has been a wonderful chat with Mr. Alex Phatboy Lim. And let's all wish him the best. Woo! Sa Cebu. And thank you so much, brother, for your time. And let's catch up again soon, or let's talk after this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I promote? No?
Oh yeah, sure. Please do.
So if you guys want to check out the stuff that I do have my Facebook page ako. Just go to facebook.com/Phats Entertainment. That's PHATS Entertainment now. All I do there, from Beat This Philippines to even Warner stuff, and even like upcoming podcast that I'm doing. I'm excited for my Tito Toys podcast, a vlogcast. So that's going to be fun because I'm gonna be may ano ka ba? Mahilig ka ba sa laruan?
Hindi masyado, pero I can appreciate.
Pero may collection ka for sure. May mga
I used to before Gundam.
Yan, mga Gundam, di ba?
Indie cards.
Yan, so, yung mga plano namin mag-interview kami ng mga celebrity who's gonna show their haul, di ba?
Oo nga.
Parang gano'n. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, yun lang. And then you can follow me pala on Phatboy Lim, at Phatboy Lim on Twitter. PHATBOYLIM.
If you have any questions to Mr. Alex Lim, just send him a message. He'll gladly give you advice sa mga artists dyan. Bibigyan ng advice yan. Libre
Wala kayo mag-send ng demo
Yun.
Biglang nagdagsaan yung demo no?
Wag na muna demo. Uy, pero si Kiko tsaka si Kim Marvilla meron silang parang indaro na gagawin. Parang gagawin nila ulit siya. I'm excited for that one. Titignan ko gano'ng kaigat na si Brother Kiko sa pagsasalita. Anyway guys, again, thank you so much for staying with us. This is Brian and Alex on the other side. And yes, see you again next time. And keep making content to all the artists there. Gawa lang kayong content. Don't stop. And stay safe. Bye.
Goodbye.